Alright guys, welcome to the next video. What I wanted to do is go over another coding interview assignment that I once received during the interview, and the basis of this assignment was to basically convert an int to a character. Now, before we actually get to the assignment, I wanted to talk about this thing called ASCII, because this is something that you need to know about before we actually get to the assignment. So, what is ASCII? Now, ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And to just break down what ASCII is, computers can only understand numbers. So an ASCII code is the numerical representation of a character, such as Y or an exclamation point or an action of some sort. So what this basically means is that when we put any form of input into our computer, such as moving the mouse or typing letters on our keyboard, there's going to be a numerical representation associated with the particular action that we're going to be taking. And that numerical representation is going to be interpreted by the computer. And then after it's done being interpreted, the computer is going to send us back a message of some sort notifying us that you have typed or interacted with the computer in some sort of way. And that's pretty much what ASCII is. So just like I said before, actions send information. Here you can send information to your computer by using the keyboard. You can also send information to your computer using a mouse. Okay, now let's talk about an ASCII table. An ASCII table is basically a table that maps numbers to characters. Now, this is what an ASCII table looks like here. As you can see here, this ASCII table consists of 3 columns: decimal, hex, and character. And for this particular video, we're not going to be focusing on the hex column. We're just going to be focusing on the decimal and the character columns. So, as you can see here in this ASCII table, these characters here are mapped to a particular number. This number is going to be interpreted by the computer, and the computer is then going to send us back a response of the character that we've typed in. So to just break this down a little bit more clear, just imagine that you're in Microsoft Word. You go into Microsoft Word and you type in a letter. Okay, let's say you type in the letter J. So if we go here, we type in the letter J here, there's going to be a numerical representation that is going to be sent to the computer, which we see here is 74. Okay, that 74 is then going to be interpreted by the computer and is going to send back a response to us. And then that response will be the letter J appearing on that, appearing inside of that Microsoft Word file. And that's pretty much what this table is really all about. It's just associated with mapping numerical values to characters. Okay, so let's get to the assignment now. Now, this was a coding assignment that I once received during an interview, and the assignment was simply to write a program that converts an integer to a character. This is going to be pretty straightforward. The code for this is not really that complex, so let's just jump right into the code. So what you see here is a project that I created. I created myself an application object, and what I'm going to be doing is actually explaining to you how to go about converting a number to a character. So let's get right into it. And before I start coding, let me zoom this in. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is write a function that converts a number to a character. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is actually create myself a new method. So I'm going to go public static character. I'm going to be returning a character here. Convert int to character. All right. So we have our method here, convert int to character, and what we want to do is actually take in a number. So int x is the number that we're going to be taking in, and we're actually going to be converting this x here to a character. So first of all, let's do this. We want to create ourselves a variable called int value and set this equal to x. And then after we do this, we want to create ourselves a reference of character, my char, and then we want to set this equal to x, but we want to cast this x here as a char here. All right. So as I said in my PowerPoint presentation, computers, they can only understand numbers. Okay. Now, due to the fact that computers can only understand numbers, the actions that we take on our keyboard or on our mouse are going to send a message to the computer to let the computer know what action we want to take, pretty much. But what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking in the number, and then I'm going to be converting that to whatever the character is. So what I want to do next is just simply return my char, and that's pretty much it for the method. So basically this method should take in a number and then convert it to a character. Alright, so let's print this out and see if we get the result we want. Sys out convert int to character, and then we want to pass in an integer here. So let's go back to our presentation. Okay, and if we look back at this chart, let's just pick the decimal value 82. So the character that should be returned is the letter R that you see here. So let's go back to our program, type in 82 here, and then let's see what we get. Go up here, print this out, go down to the console, we got the letter R. So this is pretty much it. So we've pretty much written a function that converts a number to a character. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you've learned something from here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And see you in the next one.